guys? This is Azriel, and you're listening to Sounds of a... Sorry. What's up, guys? This is Azriel, and you're listening to Sounds of an Angel on Dash Radio.
Woo! All right, everybody. This is my Juan here at Dash Radio on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I am here with incredible songstress, songwriter, singer, just incredible human being, Azriel Clary.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
I'm really good today. Really blessed.
What a beautiful thing. You know, I was so excited to speak to you because I think you're so much more than just the stories we've heard and everything.
Yes.
And I'm glad you get to live out this chapter of your life now.
Yes. Really exciting. Honestly, you know, I just feel like at the end of the day, for me, it was really pretty much about going back to the basics and really just doing things that made me me. So now it's like people get to actually see who Azriel is and what it is that she likes and what it is that she does, and my sound and so forth.
Yeah, and I think, you know, you're very courageous, even because you seem to write a lot of your music. And I say that because when I listen to Sounds of an Angel, it sounds like a personal account and it's so deep. So I applaud you. It's not easy for anybody to put out their life on record,
of course,
let alone such a documented life. So I applaud you. I really do.
Thank you. No, I really like writing Sounds of an Angel because honestly, you know, it was written from a broken place, but I wasn't in a broken place, which is the beauty of it. You know, I was going through a lot of changes. I had just got to Atlanta, and, you know, I was networking and plugging with a lot of people. So it was like I was really, you know, moving forward with my life, and I was in such a good, positive place that I was like, oh my God. And I just happened to write it, and I was like, this is like such a beauty. Like, this is a gem.
It is. It's different too.
Yeah.
And I love that you're not just coming out, from what I've heard, so I've heard Sounds of an Angel, and then your team sent me a little snippet of, if I believe it's called Inside Me.
Yes. That is the next single, Inside Me. I'm super excited.
Both are so different, and they're both R&B, but I love that you're not just doing the traditional R&B. It's a little experimental, a little different.
Of course, yeah. So I'm definitely considered alternative R&B, but I definitely don't like to put my sound in a box. And when you hear the rest of the EP that's dropping May 27th, you're gonna be like, wow, every single song is so different.
A little bit different.
Is so crazy.
Hell yeah. You know what? This feels good, just seeing your excitement and just seeing. Sometimes I think that, you know, this isn't just for me, it's for all the people who are going to watch this after. I think sometimes we're going through so much and we don't realize like how positive we can be and happy we can be.
Yes.
And just sitting here talking to you, I'm already beaming with like happiness and joy.
Right.
So like shout out to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I got to give you a gift. So I do this part of all my interviews where I give the artist an album from my collection. I try to relate it to kind of like what your music sounds like, maybe something you grew up off, something you've gone through. So this is a little interesting. Now, what I always do is I was going to sit in that seat because I hid the gift there. But what's going to be cool is you're going to grab, it's right under here.
Oh, okay.
You'll feel a CD. So I wanted to give you this because that's the Beyonce I Am.
Oh my goodness. This is so crazy. You know what's so crazy? When I was like 15, 16, I used to sing If I Were a Boy by her, and it's really crazy that you gave me this song.
That album.
This album, like, changed my life. This is like Sasha Fierce. This is like me now. It's like a whole different persona.
That was my whole thing. When I was trying to pick what album, I knew I was going Beyonce or Whitney Houston from what I had read.
Yes.
I knew it was gonna be B or Whitney, but when I went to, I'm not gonna lie, I don't own a lot of Beyonce and Whitney albums, but I've given them out. I do like 2 interviews a week. So I went to Amoeba and they had all of them, and I'm like, what Beyonce am I gonna do? And then I said I Am, because I feel like you are somebody brand new, and you know, like almost like they say the Phoenix, like it has to like burn out and die to come back up.
It's so crazy. You're literally the second person to tell me that. Like you really absolutely are. But that's the beauty in this. Like I said, I feel like a lot of people saw me, but they didn't know who I was. And now I feel like I just get to be so creative and so open and show my personality and just show me being bubbly and organic, who I naturally am. And I think it's super exciting because I feel like people get to fall in love with who I actually am.
Absolutely. And what's so cool is that we don't really know who you are. So even though like people are going to have this preconceived notion of who you are, and even me, I wasn't sure. I knew you were incredibly talented when I heard the song. That's why the interview on, but just meeting you, so everybody knows from like the instant I met, saying it right, Azriel?
Yes.
From the instant I met Azriel, she was smiling, upbeat, it is a Thursday morning in LA. It's hot as shit for the morning time. Like, this is not a morning where I woke up feeling good. Azriel, though, you really are like a positive beaming light of energy.
Yes. Oh my God. I'm not even a morning person. No, you're fine. I'm not even.
Radio. We got ghetto cable.
No. It's okay. We're gonna get it right.
So wait, you're not a morning person?
I am not a morning person, but honestly, I've just been so busy. I've been doing a lot of productive things. I was at Lil Wayne. He had a runway show.
You were there?
Yeah, it was really dope. A lot of people went out to it. It was actually my first runway show that I had been to, and I thought that it was super dope. But I've just been really out here just networking and just getting a lot of work done. So I've been in like a really positive state of mind and just waking up early for all of these events.
Yeah, beautiful. It's amazing because so many people don't even go through a lot and they quit on their dreams.
Yes.
And we're not going to go into it, but you've been through a lot. And you know, everything you went through was because of your dreams of being a musician. And I applaud you for saying, like, that didn't close the door on shit.
Exactly.
Chapter
really
2, motherfuckers. Yes.
That's the best revenge, is just really, you know, just showing that it didn't stop anything and it didn't take anyone else. Ultimately, you know, if you just believe in yourself, it's so crazy how many things you can do when you really believe in yourself.
Absolutely.
So for me, that's pretty much what it was about. Like I said, going back to the basics and just relearning myself, even me. Like, it's not like I just stepped directly back into music, like, because I hadn't done it for 5 years. So for me, it was just, you know, falling in love with myself again and finding myself again. And it's like a lot of people, I love when people say that they love the single and that they're happy for me, because even I had to relearn myself and my sound now as an adult as opposed to when I was singing as, you know, a teenager. So it's so cool.
Yeah, and it seems like you have a really strong team around you.
Yeah.
Like people supporting you.
Yes.
And I say that because one thing I look for when I listen to a song, specifically an R&B song, is a production value. How well is it produced? Because I know what it takes to really produce a big R&B song.
Okay, you're a producer?
No, I mean, I tried in my past. I'm sitting on this side now because my beats were trash and my raps are trash. But like, I knew, I was self-aware. But no, I think when I listened to Sounds of an Angel, I was like, she has a team around her. I could tell you have a great engineer, great producer, incredible songwriter, singer.
Yes.
So let's get into that. How did you find your team of folks that you're working with?
So actually, I spent a lot of my time writing my stuff and just going in the studio by myself. But
really?
Yeah, I did.
Without a producer, or do you already have the beat, or you're just in there alone?
So for Sounds of an Angel, I plugged with 18-year-old. He's a phenomenal producer. He's based out of Australia. Okay. So he gave me a couple beats for the EP. It's another song on there that I did with him as well, the track 5.
Ooh.
And the snippet that you heard, I created with my team in Atlanta. So that one I had my friends, Retro and GK, they're writers. They helped me write it. We had a phenomenal time writing it. And it's crazy that you say that because we actually wrote inside me in my house. So I have, in my apartment, I actually make my engineers bring their whole setup to my house and we'll cook up. I have a separate room dedicated to just recording. But when I record, like, I have like over 50 candles lit and they already know, like, they just set up everything and then we just start going into it, and literally that's how Inside Me was created. So I'm so happy you say that because it was comfortable, you know, and it's like I love recording at the studio, but you know, sometimes when you create in your home where you are your most comfortable, the sound is like that much more buttery.
Absolutely.
And so yeah, that's how we created that. Me, Retro, and GK, we were just in my house, like literally just like, okay, let's light these candles. They all, you know, was lighting the candles.
Yeah, don't burn that house down. You got a lot of candles lit, it sounds like.
No. It was just my routine. Anytime I cook up at my house, like I'm just a very sentimental person, so you know, I light my candles, we burn sage, and we get right into it.
Yeah, I love that. Well, you can tell listening to Sounds of an Angel and the little snippet I heard of Inside Me that, like I said, you got a team around you, and this is like a movement. Azriel Clary is a movement.
It's a movement.
Do you feel like I feel like your positive energy, just people must gravitate towards you.
Yes, it really does. Honestly, we were out last night, and I feel like so many people just gravitated towards me just because I was just so poised and just very charismatic. People tell me that all the time, and I'm just like, I'm just being me. Like,
I love it. I think sometimes in life, I tell people a lot of times that you have to, like, to get to the highest mountaintop where you see a beautiful view of everything, you have to climb uphill.
Yes.
Or to really appreciate the sun and to really appreciate the warmth of the sun, you have to sit out in the rain. And if you don't, you'll never really appreciate it. And I think that might be what we're getting from you. Because you just see, like, I feel better just having met you and talked to you for 5-10 minutes so far.
Thank you.
But this project coming out, so you said May 27th.
Yes, May 27th.
Already, it's ready.
It's ready.
And you said something earlier. You said track 5. So you already have the project laid out.
Oh, we have 5 tracks on this, John. On this EP, it is
I love that you said John. I haven't heard that word. That's some southern shit. I haven't heard that in a while.
Yes, we have 5 tracks on this EP, and I'm super excited. Inside Me is the 2nd single that's also dropping with visuals.
Ooh.
And yeah, I think it's gonna be like, I just think that, you know, when you're an artist, you have so much creativity, and you know, you can literally go into so many different lanes and so many different pockets. And me being a writer, it's so easy for me to hear so many different pockets. So I'm so excited for this EP because it's super sexy. It's sultry. It's full of a lot of earwormers and just like pockets that people will definitely like just be stuck in your head all day.
Okay.
So I'm just like so excited. A lot of time went into this all last year. You know, I spent recording it just in my house, like just cooking up with all the different producers that I work with. And it's just been really phenomenal, the growth and just people working with me and collaborating with me, you know, even outside of that, you know, my management, BPG, my team, you know, Cortez Bryant, and, you know.
Cortez Bryant is on your team?
Yeah, that's my
Shout
manager.
out Cortez. I know, like Wayne, Drake,
yes,
Cortez.
That is my manager. Him and
I needed to do better research because I should have known you were being repped by Cortez right now.
Yes,
Wow.
Yes, yeah, that's why we were trying to make it yesterday. I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God, tell Cortez I'm sorry. No, but I really like, so everyone understands what I just understood. You know, in music, it's just like a sport. You can't, like, no great player wins a championship without a great coach.
Of course.
And in music, like, you don't get Michael Jackson without Quincy Jones. You don't get Snoop Dogg without Dr. Dre. I can go down the line. You don't get Run DMC without Rick Rubin and Russell Simmons.
Exactly.
Cortez is a motherfucker in this industry. That dude's been, I knew he had managed Drake, Wayne, tour managed for him. I knew people who knew him, and all I ever heard about him were good things.
Yes,
so,
he is really, really, really phenomenal, and it's been a pleasure working with him. Both him and Justice, they manage me together, and we just really I literally give them my ideas, and I love that they just let me just go wild and bounce off the walls and
amazing.
just do everything that I want to do.
How did you get tapped in with them?
Shout
out Justice, too. I don't mean to slight Justice at all.
I actually met him through Justice. It was funny because me and Justice, he was at BPG, which is the office in Atlanta, and he was like, oh, I want you to have a meeting with Tez. And I was just like, okay. At first I didn't know who it was because he just kept saying Tez. And he was like, oh, I got a meeting with Tez. I got a meeting with Tez. I got a meeting with Tez. I was like, okay, this meeting is going to go good because I know they're going to love the music.
Yep.
And I didn't even know that the meeting was with Tez. And then he heard the music and he was like, this is a hit. Like, this is it. Like, this is definitely a sound.
Wow. So when he heard it was upon first listen.
Yes. Wow. He was like, okay, yeah. He was like, so what else do we have to do?
He doesn't take on a lot of, I don't see Cortez repping like thousands of artists.
No.
So that means he really sees something special in you.
Exactly. I was really like taken aback, very appreciative, very humble. And like I said, it just shows you, you know, when you believe in yourself and you're creating a sound that you absolutely love, people can hear that in the music.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what he heard in it and that he really liked. And like you said, shout out to Justice because Justice is really the one who...
motherfucking Justice. I gotta give you some props because for him to hear that and to know, you know, oh, this is gonna work. I'm gonna put her in the room with Tez. And then, so, wow. Like, you know, if you were like a stock in the stock market, I don't know, have you ever invested at all?
I have a couple times.
So the way it works, you know, people throw in money, and if good news comes out or things break, people start throwing more money, and the stock goes up. with the information I just got, your stock is soaring in my head right now. Yes. I would have put everything I have in Azriel right now because you have an incredible, I knew you had an incredible team as far as like the sound. And now that I know that you have this incredible team on that side,
yes.
there is literally like this next 5-6 years of your life,
yes.
I think are going to be, especially the way you're going to be able to appreciate it. Yeah. As I was saying, a lot of people can't appreciate the sun as much as others. Yes. And you know how to appreciate it, I can tell.
Yes, this is really just delayed gratitude for me, honestly. Like, it's just such a phenomenal feeling. Yes. It's really deserving. And it just shows you, you know, you are enough. Like you just said, I am. And literally, that's just all that it is. And so I'm really blessed. I'm really happy for my team. You know, everybody that works with me internally, even on the exterior, you know, my producers. Shout out to Countryman also because they produced the beat for Inside Me. So I'm really happy.
Countryman?
Yes.
It's a two-man thing or
actually, it was a couple different people. It was Cash Code Collection, Countryman. They're based out of the A also. They do a lot of soundtracks for Sony Publishing. So that's actually how I met through them. They were like, we need somebody to lay some references for Doja and all of these people, da-da-da-da-da. And they were like, can you come? We heard that you're a writer. And I was like, yeah, I'll pull up. I pulled up and we knocked out like 8 references. They were like, okay, I'm going to get you some beat packs because I like your sound. And then he sent me this beat and I was just like, oh, this is a hit. Oh, for sure.
Now, wait. You just dropped the gem. I can't skip. I just caught something. So you've written references for other artists.
Yeah, so I've done a couple references. I haven't had any placements or anything like that, but I do have, you know, producers that look out for me and they're like, you know, your writing is good. And so, you know, we're going to let you lay references if you want to come in and, you know, write some stuff. And
that's amazing.
Send it out. Like, that's pretty much what we do.
Let me explain to everyone who's going to watch this why that's important. Yes. Because a lot of people, especially being a female in this industry, and then being a woman of color, like I've always said, no one has a tougher time in America than a woman of color. Yes. Like the black woman goes through more than, you know, 99% of us out there. Right. And in music especially, people are always looking for a reason to make the female artist like not credible. Right. People, oh, Nicki doesn't write. Oh, Cardi don't do. I always see it with female artists, and in the hip hop space a lot, R&B as well. Yes. So I want everyone to understand what's really important. When a producer asks you to write a reference and sing it, it's not because for the headlines. And people are going to be like, oh, people are just working with her because she gets on ETV and she gets on TMZ.
Yeah, no.
That shit doesn't go on TMZ. That is straight skill, talent, ability, and people believing in you.
Exactly. And that's, like I said, again, that delayed gratitude because, you know, people don't have to do that, but I'm really appreciative of the people that, you know, do work with me and that do think of me, especially because, you know, I am a creative. So it's really good to know that, you know, whether I have a placement yet or not, in which I'll get many placements.
You're going to get many placements.
But until then, you know, I think it's really good to know that I'm mentioned and, you know, in those rooms and that people really think of me. And it's just a blessing to know that it's just paying off. Everything that I'm doing is really paying off. So, yeah, I'm really excited, man. And
me too.
But he's the producer. He's the one who gave me the beat pack, and I was like, yeah, this is it.
Yeah, and now I'm sure you got beat packs left and right coming.
Yes, I do. And you know what's so crazy about Inside Me? No one was supposed to hear that song. Like, literally nobody was supposed to hear it.
I never heard it then.
No.
Okay.
It's funny, like, my managers, like, they accidentally heard it. Like, I was scared to play the song because, like you said, it's so different from Sounds of an Angel.
Absolutely.
It's like, whoa, is this the same person?
Yeah, sound different. The context is completely different.
Everything. So I was just, like, scared because I was like, okay, this is definitely very sexy. But when I wrote it, like, I was at an all-time high. My confidence was there. I was, you know, like, feeling happy. I was like, okay, I'm really that bitch. I hate to say it, but, you know, I'm that girl.
Yes,
like, girl,
you are her.
Yes. So I was like, okay, when I wrote that, I was really in my bag, like, yeah. And I think it was just so dope to create that record. And now it's like I said, everything is just so different. Like, literally everything, the sounds is just off the wall. Like, everything is just so different. Yeah,
and I can't wait just to hear what you said, the 5-song EP, right?
Yes.
So you know, when I heard Sounds of an Angel, the context was very personal. It was an experience that we could all understand.
Yes.
So for the rest of the project, is it just going to be about a lot of different things, or are you kind of like closing a chapter with this project?
I feel like, I don't want to give too much away, but I definitely do feel like you have to listen to it all the way through, because everything is super, super cohesive and it goes together so perfectly.
Like they transition together.
Yes.
Track 1 goes into 2.
Yes, but
I love that. Hell yeah.
Yeah, but it's really pretty much like where I am now and like who I am now, and just me being very, you know, sexy and confident and just sultry and just in my bag, and just finding out like who I am and redefining myself and changing this narrative of me and, you know, my testimony. And it's just really dope to be able to put that in music and allow other people to connect with it.
Yeah, and to have the team around you supporting it, because like no big musician or album or project ever did well without an incredible team.
Yes.
Ever. There's very few that like artists who put out something fully independent or on their own and it reached the masses. So I'm so excited for this next chapter of your life and to hear the project.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
I cannot wait. I honestly cannot wait. I think you're going to absolutely love it. Well, I know you're going to love it. I know you're going to love it, especially if you like alternative R&B. Like, even if you don't listen to too much alternative R&B, like, it's really a great EP, and I'm so happy. It's my first baby. I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm so I'm just full of love. I'm like, wow, this is really crazy. Like,
wow, you're an incredible human being. I want to tell you, I really, even before we got to talk and I got to know you, I want to applaud you, because you're gonna give strength to so many, not just women, men, to people who feel, you know, either feel like they're in a situation that they're never going to get out of, or feel like a situation defined them.
Exactly.
So many people I know have something they've been through that is, you know, they let that define them.
Exactly.
So I gotta applaud you
Thank
for all the millions. I'm talking millions of people are gonna see your story. You're gonna hear your story, hear your music, hear your voice, just hear your interviews, and find the strength within themselves. So I gotta applaud you.
Thank you.
No,
I
thank
really
you.
appreciate that. No, honestly, you know, it's just, for me, I just feel like for a long time, I felt like I wasn't in control of my life, and I felt like I just was like, wait, I am controlling my life. I'm in control of, you know, my choices. I can wake up and I can do whatever I want. And, you know, for a lot of people, like you said, who are dealing with stuff like that and they feel like they can't get out of it, for me, it was just a simple thought of knowing, like, it's okay to move on. It's okay to want better for yourself. It's okay to even just want change of direction in your life. You know, there are people that have jobs and then suddenly, you know, they quit and they want to become entrepreneurs. And so it was just something as simple as that, and just showing people that it's okay to change your mind. Like, it is okay to be a human and, you know, make mistakes. Nobody is perfect, not even me, you know, but it's okay to really be in control of your life and, you know, to just control your narrative. And I'm happy because so many people DM me and so many people reach out to me, and they're just like, you know, you've helped me get out of this situation, and you've helped me, you know, move on. And like, just watching you heal, you know, a lot of people who have been watching my social media for the last 3 years, they've really been able to really just watch me just go through the motions of life. They've seen me, you know, when I'm happy, when I'm sad, when I'm depressed, when I'm reading, when I'm walking my dog, when I'm having a picnic, you know. So I think that's the beauty in it. A lot of people got to grow with me. Yeah. And I thought that was super dope.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm telling you, you're gonna encourage and give strength and you know what I mean? Just it's an incredible thing. I'm so excited for this next chapter of I keep feeling I'm saying it wrong. Azriel. I'm saying it right. Okay, this next chapter of Azriel's life, I'm really excited for. So video coming out for Inside Me soon?
Yes, so May 27th, the single and the EP drops, but the single is dropping with the visuals, and then the entire track list will be available. Okay. So everybody will be able to pre-save, I believe, the 3rd week of May. Okay. And
the project and single are coming out together?
The same day, yes.
I like that. That's different. That is different.
Everything's coming out the same day. So on May 27th, not only will you get the single and the visuals for the single, you'll also get the entire EP. So
Wow, that's exciting because
Yeah.
then, you know, for all of us who are gonna hear Inside Me, watch the visual, and be sold, we can immediately go get the whole pie.
Yes, and you can listen to everything all the way through. So I'm really excited for that. Really
Absolutely.
excited.
Well, this was awesome. You know, I this was a great way to start my day. I feel great now. Like someone could hit me with a car and I get up and be like, "Don't even trip, dog. I had a good morning." So thank you so much.
No, thank you for having me.
No, of course. The project, anybody who has not heard Sounds of an Angel should really go listen so you can understand what you're getting into with Azriel. Like, you're getting honesty, you're getting raw music, just music to the core of it. Instruments, singing, songwriting. And it's so raw. Like, I say raw in the sense that, like, we can listen to the song and understand the context and be like, damn, girl, that's deep. It is deep. I don't want to get into the lyrics. That shit is deep. I was listening to that chorus and I was like, oh shit, she is not playing around.
Yeah, talking that talk.
Talking that talk. So
I was screaming.
I wanted to do one thing in this interview. This is kind of weird and random. Might like shift the energy a little bit, but I want to apologize to you. I know this is really weird. Give me like a minute to explain myself, but you know, the person who I'm not going to name, who shall not be named, you know, growing up as a kid, I was a big fan. And I feel like a couple of years ago, I cried when I saw one of the things, because I study music a lot. And growing up, I knew like who the fuck that monster was, but I still supported it. And even now, I get so emotional when I think about it. And I've always wanted to just apologize to everybody that was hurt from that. So I want to apologize to you, because I can't apologize to everybody. But I knew, and a lot of people in music knew. A lot, and I didn't work in music at the time, but I was in high school, and shit, I turned the volume up knowing what I was, the gas that I was putting into that fire. So I apologize to you and to everybody impacted.
It's completely fine. You know, honestly, at the end of the day, I feel like, you know, a lot of people have a lot of things going on behind closed doors, and I can't honestly sit here and blame everybody or be upset at everybody, because I can't take away from anyone's artistry. You know, I just can only speak for myself and, you know, what I've gone through, and right is right and wrong is wrong, and that's just the moral of it. But yeah, I mean, if I literally sat around upset at everybody, that, you know, I would literally have gray hairs.
No, I think that was more for my soul. I really wanted to get that off my chest. And because, you know, anyway, so excited for this chapter of your career.
I'm so excited too.
Have you dropped the project name to anybody, or we got to wait for that?
Sounds of an Angel
is the name of the project.
Yes.
Ooh, that's the EP name.
Yes, that is the EP name. Yes, I just felt like that was just an ear grabber. You don't hear it a lot. And I just really liked that. Thought it was super, super strong name for the EP. So
and I think it has 2, 3, maybe 4, 5, 6 meanings that you can really break down. And I think maybe every song will kind of play into one of those meanings. So.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, I'm so excited. I could tell you're not the kind of artist that's gonna ever just give us some like bullshit EP, half-ass effort. Everything's coming with visuals. Everything's coming with, like, when I looked you up, I saw there was tons of press photos, and I'm like, she knows what she's doing. Because I work with artists who've been in the game for 10 years that come in here and have records. Well, I'm not going to try to allude to anybody, but big artists, Billboard charting records. And I'm like, you don't have any recent press photos for me to deal with? So I know you got your shit together.
Oh, for sure. Shout out to my publicist, B-Star, Brandy.
Shout out to the
best,
publicist. Brandy, shout out.
She's the one who be getting the press together. Like, I don't even be knowing. I just be confirming. I be like,
Brandy,
yep, nope.
doing your damn job.
Yes,
well,
absolutely.
Azriel, this was such a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
On behalf of me, Maiwan Dash Radio, we're big supporters of your music. It sounds incredible. Everyone, if you turn on Dash R&B X, Dash probably will have it on like the pop stations too a little bit, depending on the records. You're gonna hear Azriel because you have an incredible sound, incredible story that's still being told.
Thank you.
And once again, for the last time, I applaud you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Dash, and listen to Dash Radio if you want to hear Sounds of an Angel.
Yes, and check out Inside Me, video coming soon.
Yes, thank you guys so much.
Yes. Alrighty, everyone, we're out.
Bye.
Peace.